Hey everyone, Live487 here again in a widescreen. Today I'm looking at a product that I received from vapebar.com.au. As always, I received, well, not always, did receive this product free of charge for the purposes of review, and of course I'm going to tell you if it's good or bad, and what, I'll give you my honest opinion basically. Anyway, the product I'm having a look at now is the Smoke Tech. I assume it's actually pronounced Smoke Tech, but it's spelled Smoke Tech, so I'm going to play around with that. Anyway, it's the Smoke Tech XXL Dual Coil Cartomiser. The last video I did for vapebar.com.au showed the XL Dual Coil Cartomiser, so this is the even bigger one. And so that's what I'm looking at today. The one that they've got in stock is the stainless steel color. But I'm sure that at some point they'll get some black ones and whatever other colors are available, and they'll perform the same. Anyway, so there it is there. You can see it's just by looking at it, it's quite large. I've got the dual coil XL here, just a side-by-side comparison. If you take the little mouthpiece that comes with it off, it's really only another, I don't know, half a centimetre longer, really. But here's the difference also is you can fit quite easily, and it rattles around, the other XL one inside. And if we have a look at Bogger 2.0, that's lined up there, you can see, yeah, it's like 1.5 centimeters longer than a Bogger 2.0. Anyway, so that's what it is. Now the XL, as per the last video, is about 1.6 mil juice capacity in the cartomiser. This is about 2.5 mil, so it's quite a lot actually. And when I filled it the first time, it certainly did take about 2.5 mil or so before it started leaking out the bottom, meaning that I had to stop. With these ones, because they are so long, essentially it's the same filler material in there, but because they're so long, you could try using the condom method to fill them, and dripping, of course. But this is where that method of using the blunt nose needle on a syringe and sort of getting it down the sides would probably come in handy to speed up the process. Anyway, as I say, these ones actually come with this rubber, flexible rubber sort of mouthpiece, whistle tip mouthpiece, which actually is quite good. But like I say, they're dual coil. But the problem, here's the bad side of this. I'll put it on here. One, it looks big. If you put with the other one, you put that on, it's not so bad. But then you add on the mouthpiece as well, and it ends up looking, a little bit ridiculous, to me. It looks weird. But the other sort of major downside with this is if you try and put your ego cone on there, it's not going to fit. So they're much wider. You can see it. I'll just zoom in on that, or focus, I should say. I can get the focus thing. You can see it's actually about 1 millimeter, or maybe 3/4 of a millimeter wider on each side, like the radius. which means you can't get your cone on there. So that's a bit of a pain in the butt, really, to be honest. Anyway, so I guess, you know, if it vapes well, you can sort of overlook things like that. So it's not a big deal. So let's have a look at how it vapes. As you can see, there's a decent amount of vapor, or quite a good amount of vapor. I have to say, it seems to be a bit less vapor than I was getting from the XL, but that could be just the juice, because I'm using a different juice in this one. But you know, it's certainly more than enough vapor, you know, for anyone's needs, really. So that's not really a big deal. But it does seem, in my, you know, my experience, to be just a little bit less, maybe 10% less vapor than you're getting out of the XL, but like I say, it doesn't really matter. One thing that is better is the flavour. It's a lot stronger flavour. The flavour is denser than on the XL one, but it does have that more airflow is happening. You know, I don't know whether it's because it's wider or why that is, but yeah, it's the airflow is more, so it's more airy. So anyway, so that's on the Reva battery. I'll just do like I did the last video. I'll compare it with all the other batteries. So this is the Ego 1000 milliamp. So now, I mean, it's really long now. It's huge, you know. I mean, that's the standard sort of there's my, oh no, that's basically the same size as the standard Ego. My other Ego battery's on charge, so I can't sort of pull it off, but you can see it's massive when you put this with the mouthpiece and on this. It really is quite massive and weird looking, you know. So again, there doesn't seem to be a difference in the performance on the Ego as compared to the Reva, whereas with other atomizers like the Bogger and 306 and things like that, there is a noticeable difference. But with these dual coil cartomizers, there doesn't seem to be a difference between the Reva with its slightly more power output compared to the Ego. So that's a really good plus for these dual coils, is the ability to produce great vapor, great throat hit, and you know, in this one, awesome flavor, and the other one still, you know, quite good flavor, or a satisfying amount of vapor in those XLs. So the XXL just has more flavor. So more than enough vapor there. Now I'll whack it on to the 5-volt mod that I've got. Just screws in like anything else. Yeah, I always have trouble with my 5-volt mod. It's not the fault of the cartomizer. It's in here. There's the center pin. That seems to get, you know, pushed down by certain cartomizers or atomizers or whatever, and I just need to pull it up a bit. Again, the same thing with the other dual coil. as soon as you put on the 5 volt, there's enough power to get both coils heated up without doing that sort of double vape sort of thing. And again, more vapor, than the other two. But that's simply because it is 5 volts and it's a lot more powerful. And so that's really good. So basically, yeah, I mean, I'm using 11 milligram nicotine juice in these, and especially on the 5 volt for both the XL and the XXL, I'm getting a lot more throat hit than I would normally get. But I guess that's pretty normal with cartomizers. But yeah, anyway, so so the downside of this is it's so big. Like visually, it looks so huge. And on some of the devices, especially the bigger Ego battery like this one, it looks weird. But in the end, it's 2.5 mils of juice, so you're going to easily get through an entire day, without refilling easily. So, it's sort of that's the pros and cons, to it. They sell for on vapebar.com.au. They're selling for $2.49 or $2.50 basically, and you can buy them, individually, or you can buy them in a 5-pack. When they come in the 5-pack, I'll just show you. It just comes in a basic box like this, and then they come sealed in this kind of a plastic, but it's fully sealed. Like, you can't just get it out. So it is hygienic, and that's it really. I mean, this one I've been using for as long as the XL, so 4 or 5 days, and it's still going like the day I got it. So because you're not having to refill it, once or twice a day, it tends to last for a lot longer. Yeah, so really good, really good. Anyway, that's that. Go over, check them out over at vapebar.com.au. Vapebar.com.au is a relatively new vendor in Australia, and they're getting really stocked up with some really great stuff, including these dual coil cartomizers. Anyway, this is Light 487, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.